The topic that we are going to look today is nothing but calendars. So, before going into the topic calendar and solving a lot of questions, we should understand the basic concepts of calendar and a lot of tricks involved in solving question from it. So, let's understand the concept. 1 week has 7 days. Then 1 year has 52 weeks plus 1 odd day. So, odd day is nothing but 1 extra day in a year. This is for a normal year. In case of a leap year, we have 52 weeks and 2 odd days. Why in a leap year we have 52 weeks plus 2 odd days? That is because in a leap year there will be 1 extra day. The February that ends every year in 28th Feb will end on 29th Feb, and hence this extra 1 odd day from a normal year we have. So now we know what are the basic concepts in a calendar problem. Now we are going to know about the various tricks involved in solving the calendar problems. So these are the basic tricks one should know for solving the calendar problem. So I have split it into days, month and year. So as of now, you just see what I am going to tell, that while solving the problems you will know how these are applicable in a problem. So in days, we are going to number each day. So we are going to start from Sunday. So we are going to put 0 for Sunday, 1 for Monday, 2 for Tuesday, 3 for Wednesday, 4 for Thursday, 5 for Friday and 6 for Saturday. Similarly, from month, from Jan to December, we are going to code each and every month with a number. So how to remember this number? Remember it like this. So split it into 3 months. So the first 3 and the last 3, it's nothing but 033, 035. And the middle 2, you can remember it comes in 6, which is 614 and 625. So first when you see the answer rough sheet, you can write from Jan to December. Then first fill the first 3 and the last 3 as 033 and 035. Then in between you can fill it as 614 and 625. That's how you can remember it as a month. Then for the year, these are the various years that they generally ask in all the type of questions. So from 1600 to 1699 we code it as 6. From 1700 to 1799 we code it as 4. 1800 to 1899 code it as 2. How to remember this? Go in the descending order from 6, 4, 2. For 1900 to 1999 it is 0, and 2000 to 2099 it is 6. So how do we do it? From days, from Sunday we actually code it till Saturday. So 0 to 6. Next for month, remember the first 3 and last 3, then fill the middle from Jan to December. Similarly for year, we are starting from 1600 till 2099. How do we do it? 6, 4, 2 and 0, 6. So remember these codes for solving the calendar problem. So let's get started with a simple question now. Okay, the first question that they've given is, what was the day of the week on 26th Jan 1947? So this is the question that they have given. So there are basic 6 steps one need to follow to answer this question. Those are very simple steps. So once you understand the concept of these 6 steps, you can solve it within 15 seconds. So first, you have to take the last 2 digit of the year. So what is the last 2 digit of the year? 47. So next, divide it by 4. You have to divide 47 by 4. So take your quotient. Next, take the date. So date is nothing but 26th. Next, take the number of the month. So from here, these things will come into place. So what is the number of the month? What is the month? Jan. So Jan is nothing but 0. So we take 0 here. Next, take the number of the year. So year is nothing but 1947. So 1900 to 1999, which is also 0 here. So we take it as 0. So now you add these first 5 steps. 7 plus 1, 8. 8 plus 4, 8 plus 6 is 14, 1. 5, 8, 84. So your total is 84. What is the question? What was the day of the week? So how many days in a week? 7 days. So you're dividing 84 by 7. We know that 12 sevens are 84. So you will obviously get the remainder as 0. So you have to take remainder here. So 0. So what is it corresponding to? 0 is nothing but Sunday here. So what was the day of the week on 26th Jan 1947 is nothing but Sunday. So in this question, what you need to know, for the first 5 steps, first you have to take the first 2 digits divided by 4. Next you have to take the date. Next, you have to take the number corresponding to month, number corresponding to year. Once you get the first 5, add it. Then they are asking for the day. So you will divide it by 7. The remainder of it, nothing but corresponds to the number code of the days. So you can directly write it. So initially it will be really tough. But once you understand the 6 steps, really easily you can finish off the sum. Let's solve another example. So the next question is, what was the day of the week for 5th October 2016? So what is the first thing you have to do? Take the last digit, so which is nothing but 16. So you are dividing it by 4. You know the quotient will be 4. Next, take the date. Date is nothing but 5th. Next, take the number of the month. So October. So what is October? October is again 0 here. So take the number of the year. So year is 2016. So 2000 to 2099 is 6. So we are taking 6 here. So add all of these. So if you add all these first 5 steps, you will get the value as 31. So what do? They have asked the question the day of the week. So we divided this 31 by 7. So let's divide 31 by 7. We know 7 4s are 28. And the remainder is 3. So we take the remainder here. So code number 3. So 3 falls under Wednesday. So it's a Wednesday. So what was the day of the week on 5th October 2016 is nothing but Wednesday. So now we can see that how easily we solve this sum. So once you practice 3-4 sums on the same topic, then easily within seconds you can do it. You know the steps, you will just substitute the value, you can easily find the value for it. The first part of the calendar problems, we found how to find the day for normal year. Now in this type, we are going to first start discussing about how to find the day for a leap year. So how did we do it? The first step, as usual, we have the first 5 steps. So first we have to take the last 2 digits. So the question that they've asked is, what was the day of the week on 29 Feb 2012, which is obviously a leap year. Last 2 digits of the year, so which is 12. Next step is divided by 4. So if we divide 12 by 4, we know that the answer is quotient is 3. So we'll put it here. Next is the date. So what is the date that they have given? 29. So next is the month number. So February corresponds to 3. So we put 3 here. Next is the year number, which is 2012. So 2012 falls between the bucket of 2000 to 2099, which is nothing but 6. Now add all these. 3 plus 2, 5, 14, 17, 23. So 5, 53. So what is the last step? As we know, they've asked for the day. We divide 53 by 7. 7 sevens are 49. So 4. So generally for a normal year, what do? We take 4 and we find the corresponding number for that. So 4 is nothing but Thursday, we write it as Thursday. But here the catch is they've asked for a leap year. So what do? The same step we are going to do. Take 4, subtract it by 1, which is nothing but 3. So 3 corresponds to nothing but Wednesday. So 29 Feb 2012 falls on a Wednesday. So it is the same step that we have followed for a normal year. Only minor change in the last step is that we are going to subtract it by 1. You can use the same method for any other leap year to find what day it falls on. Let's solve some other problems. So the second sum is that what dates of May 2002 did Monday fall? So what does this question mean? They are asking that in 2002 May, what are the various dates in which Monday has fallen? So first, how to solve it? The first step is that we are going to take the date 1st May 2002. We are going to solve it in the usual method that we do. Take the last 2 digits of the year, 02. Divided by 4. If we divide it by 4, we know obviously the quotient is going to be 0. Next is the date. Date is 1st, 01. Next is the month number. So it's May. So May corresponds to 1. So you write 1. Year number. It falls 2002. 2002 falls under 2000 and 2099. So the number corresponding to it is 6. So 2 plus 3, 4, 10. So what do? Similarly, we have to divide it by 7. So remainder is 3. So 3 is nothing but we know it's Wednesday. So 1st May 2002 falls on a Wednesday. So 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, for example. So 1st falls on a Wednesday, 2 is on Thursday, 3 is on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and 6th is on Monday. So the question they have asked for is Monday. So the first Monday falls on for May is on 6th. So we know that 6th is definitely a Monday. How to find the other days? It's very simple. You have to just add 7 to it. So 6th, 13th, 20th, 27th. So these are the various dates that will fall on Monday on May 2002. So how do they give the options here? They will give you 4 different dates for in all the 4 options, and they will ask you to find the correct one. So how did we do this? First, take the first of some month, whatever the month that they have given, you follow the usual procedure. Then just put the 7 days of the week and then goes to the pertaining to the day that they have asked. Then you can add just 7 to it and find the rest of the other days. This is how you have to do this sum. Let's solve another sum. So the next sum is a very simple sum. So what is the question? Today is Monday. After 30 days, what day it will be? So it's very simple that they are given 30 days. We know how to find a day. It's nothing but divided by 7. 7 4s are 28. So 2. So the remainder is 2. So today is Monday. So add plus 2. So the next day is Tuesday, then it's Wednesday. So after 30 days, it will be Wednesday. This is how you have to solve this sum. They will ask the same question with different days. It will be the same method that will be following for every other sum. Let's solve another sum. So the next question is Jan 4 2016 falls on a Monday. So what day of the week does Jan 4 2017 lies? So if you have seen our calendar first part video, it would have been discussed about the odd days in a normal year and a leap year. So in a normal year, we have one odd day. In a leap year, we have 2 odd days. So this is going to be the basic for solving this sum. So what they've given, so Jan 4 2016, we know 2016 is a leap year. So it falls on a Monday. So Jan 4 2016 falls on a Monday. So Feb will be falling on 2016, where you will have an extra 2 days because it's a leap year. So it will be plus 2 here. So obviously the Jan 4 2017 following that year will definitely fall on Monday plus 2, which is nothing but Tuesday, then Wednesday. So Jan 4 2017 will fall on a Wednesday. So this is because we took as a leap year. Let's take a normal year. What do you do it? The same day will take it and you will do plus 1. So if it's a Monday, then it will fall the next year on Tuesday. If it's a Thursday, then it will fall on a Friday. So this is the difference between the normal year and the leap year. So in this video, we discussed about how to solve leap year sums and as well as the other basic sums that you might find in a calendar problem. The topic that we are going to look today is calendar part 3. So the first question is, 1st March 2006 falls on a Wednesday. What does 1st March 2010 falls on? So this is the question they have asked. So how to solve this? So we know that it's 1st March 2006. So it has crossed Feb. So we'll start counting it from 2007. So 2007 is not a leap year. So it will have one odd day. So 2008 is a leap year. So it has 2. 2009 is not a leap year. So it has one odd day. 2010, it has one odd day. So they've asked till 2010. So 3, 5. So 5 odd days are there. So what do we do? The question they have asked, 1st March 2006 is a Wednesday. So the question they have given is Wednesday. So when is 2010 1st March falls? So we have 5 odd days in between. What do you do it? You add 5. So Wednesday plus 5. So it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday and Monday. So it's nothing but 1st March 2010 falls on Monday. Let's solve another problem. So the next question that they have given is, today is Monday. After 64 days, what will it be? So generally in a week it has 7 days. Okay, so you are going to take the multiple of 7. So 7, take the multiple of 7 which is closer to 64. We know that 7 9s are 63. So after 63 days also it will be on Monday. So 63rd day is nothing going to be Monday. So 64th day is nothing but one day added to it, which is nothing but Tuesday. So 64th day will be nothing but Tuesday. So similarly, if they're going to ask you what is 62nd day, what do you do it? You know 63rd day is Monday, so you subtract 1. So 62nd day becomes Sunday. So they will ask you the same question by manipulating here different number of days. What do you do it? So you go to the closest multiple of 7 to find the correct day that they've asked for. Let's just solve another sum. So the next question that they've given us, if 8th March 2006 is Wednesday, then what was the day of the week on 8th March 2005? So it's very simple. So how do we do it? So whatever we are doing before is nothing but we just go forward, add the number of odd days. Now we are going to do the same thing, but with small changes that we are going to subtract it. So here they are going to ask, if 8th March 2006 is a Wednesday, then what was the day of the week on 8th March 2005? So in 2006, we don't have to consider the odd day because we have crossed Feb there. So we have to consider the odd day of only 2005. We know that 2005 is not a leap year, so you know that there's only one odd day. So what are you going to do? As 2006 is a Wednesday, you're going to subtract one day here. So in order to get the 2005th day, so Wednesday minus 1 is nothing but Tuesday. So 8th March 2005 falls on a Tuesday. In the other problems, what we did is that we calculated the number of odd days in the future. So we added it. Now they have asked for the days in falling on the past. So what we do here is subtract it. In the case, we are subtracting one odd day. Sometimes they would have asked, instead of 2005, they would have asked 2001 or 2003 or whatever. So you have to calculate the number of odd days falling on each year and subtract it here from the given day that they have given. So let's solve another sum. The next question that they have given is, Radha celebrated her wedding anniversary on Tuesday, 30th September 1997. When she will celebrate her next wedding anniversary on the same day. Same day is nothing but when they are asking, again she will celebrate it on a Tuesday. How are we going to do it? We are going to do it on the same concept of odd days. So let's start counting the number of odd days. 1998 is not a leap year, so the number of odd days is 1. 1999 is not a leap year, so number of odd days is 1. 2000 is a leap year, so the number of odd days is 2. 2001 is not a leap year, so the number of odd days is 1. 2002 is nothing but number of odd days is 1, and 2003 is 1. So if you add it, you will know that, see, the same day will be repeated again after every 7 thing. So if you add this, the total is nothing but 7. So this 7 comes here after 6 years. So 1997 plus 6 years, you are going to add it here, which is nothing but 2003. So in 2003, 30th September, Radha is going to celebrate her anniversary again on a Tuesday. So this is the same way you're going to follow for other sums. They would have given you a different date. What are you going to do? You have to calculate the odd days. When the odd days comes to a sum of 7, then you have to calculate the number of years you have taken here and add it to get the value here. In today's video, we discussed about the various problems that falls under calendar. In the next video, we'll also solve a couple of more problems which falls under the calendar topic. The topic that we are going to look today is calendar part 4. So in the previous parts of calendar videos, we solved various sums. So in this case, we'll be talking about the sums that are falling under the topic of century. So let's understand this concept first. So let's talk about the odd days in a century. Let's take the 1 century first. So 1 century is nothing but 100 years. So in 100 years, there will be 24 leap years and 76 ordinary years. So we know in a leap year there are 2 odd days, and in an ordinary year we have 1 odd day. So what are we doing? We are multiplying 76 into 1 here and add it by 24 into 2, which is nothing but the 2 odd days. So once you multiply and add this, you will get 124 odd days together in a single century. So 124 odd days, if you divide it by 7, in the quotient you will get 17 and plus 5 in the remainder. So this 5 is nothing but your odd days. So in the 1 century, nothing but in 100 years, you will have 5 odd days. So similarly, if you go for 200 years, the similar concept you are going to do for the 200 years. Instead of going and calculating all and all, what you can do is 5 odd days into 2, which is nothing but 10 odd days. So what we are going to do here now is that we can again divide it by 7. So if you divide it by 7, we know the remainder is 3. So it becomes 3 odd days. So in 200 years, we have 3 odd days. Similarly, we are going to do for the 300 years. What do? We multiply 5 into 3, which is nothing but 15, divided by 7. So the remainder is 1. So in 300 years, we have 1 odd day. So in case of the 400 years, so as usual we multiply it by 4, so 5 into 4. Why is this plus 1 here? Because every 400 years that particular year will also be a leap year. So we add this extra 1 odd day. So it becomes 21. So it becomes 0 odd days. So it's clear that in 100 years we have 5 odd days, in 200 years we have 3 odd days, 300 years we have 1 odd day, and in 400 years we have 0 odd days. This whole pattern will be repeated. This 400 years, 0 odd day will be repeated for the 800th year, 1200th year, 1600 and so on. For every 400 years, there will always be 0 odd days. Let's solve a couple of problems to understand this concept better. So the question that they have given is, the last day of the century cannot be. So there will be 4 options given to you. So how to solve this kind of problem? So how we start is that we know that 100 years have 5 odd days. 200 years have 3 odd days, 300 years have 1 odd day, and 400 years is 0 odd day. So if you see in the part 1 of the calendar, we discussed about the coding of these days. So 0 to 6 is nothing but from Sunday to Saturday. So 100 years have 5 odd days. So 100th year will have 5 odd days. 5 is nothing but Friday. So the 100th year day, final day will be falling on a Friday. So 200 years has 3 odd days. So 3 is nothing but Wednesday. So 300 years will have 1 odd day, which is nothing but Monday. And 400 years will have 0 odd days, which is nothing but Sunday. So this cycle will be repeated for all the years. So repeatedly if you see, it will be either Friday or Wednesday or Monday or Sunday. So what are the days that are left out? So Tuesday is left out, Thursday is left out, and Saturday is left out. So the last day of the century cannot be a Tuesday or a Thursday or a Saturday. So let's solve another sum. So the next question is, how many days are there in X weeks and X days? How to find this? Number of weeks they have given, X weeks and X days. So we know that in a week there are 7 days. So 7 into number of weeks. Number of weeks is nothing but X plus the number of days we don't know. So we add it another X. So 7x plus X is equal to 8x. So sometimes they might give you a value in this X where you need to substitute and find the answer. So this shows the number of weeks that they have given in the question multiplied by 7. 7 is nothing but the number of days in a week plus the anonymous number of days that they have given in the question. So once you add it, you will get the final value. And that is the answer for this question. So with this we come to the end of the calendar part. So we have done around 4 parts in calendar topic. Once you get to know various type of sum in the calendar that we have covered in all the 4 parts, it will be easy for you to crack any calendar type of sum in your aptitude exam.
Happy morning. I am Shivakumar from Tumkur, which is 80 kilometers from Bangalore. I am a retired employee of State Bank of Mysore, and I am a world record holder in calendar. I have prepared a calendar from 0 to infinity in a single page, and it is a world record. Today I have come over to freshersworld.com to give some information about the calendars. Now I am giving you information about 400 years calendar, and you can hear me now. This is from 1900 to 2200 years calendar. I am showing it to you. From this you can calculate the day of the week from this calendar. So I have given the code numbers for these centuries. These centuries, these are all called centuries. 1900, 2000, 2100 and 2200. These are all called centuries. I have given the code numbers. For 1900 I have given 0, 2000 I have given 6, 2004, 104, 2200 2. These are the century code numbers. And also just like that, I have given the code numbers for months. You can see in the board, January, February, March, April. For every month, I have given the code numbers. January 0, February 3, March 3, April 6, May 1, June 4, July 6, August 2, September 5, October 0, November 3, December 5. Just like I have given the code numbers for the months also. Sunday is 0, Monday is 1, just like that up to Saturday I have given the code numbers. So with that, how to find out the day of the week? This is 15th August 1947 is our Independence Day. Everybody knows this date, month and year, but do you know which day you have got the independence? No. Everybody say we don't know the day on which day we have got the independence. Let us calculate the day on which we have got the independence. So how to find out this from this formula? So I have written here a formula: century, year, plus number of leap years, plus month, plus date. How to calculate? You see, here I have written 15th August 1947. You write this 1947 as 1900 plus 47. Is there any difference? No difference. We can write it as 1900 plus 47. So 47. 2018 can be written as 2000 plus 18. No difference will be there. Why I have written like this means this 1900 represents century. This 47 represents year. This August represents month. This 15th represents date. So that is the formula for our calculation. Century plus year plus month plus date. Here I have written is leap years also, because from the total years we are having leap years also. Every 4 years once we will be having one leap year. So that is why I have written leap year also. Let us calculate the day of the week for this 15th August 1947. You see, year century is 1900. I have given the century code number 1900, that is 0. Put it here, 0. And here it is 47. I have not given any code number for this year, so simply put the same 47 here. So in this 47 there are leap years also. Every 4 years there will be one leap year. So in 47 years you will be getting, you see, 4 ones are 4, 4 ones are 4. You divide this 47 by 4 because every 4 years once we will be getting one leap year. So from 47 years we will be getting 11 leap years. So put this 11 leap years. Month. What is the month here? August. What is the month code number? August? 2. Put it here. And date. For date we do not give any code numbers for that. Put this date as it is. Total it. You see, it is 75. So for total week we are having 7 days. So divide it by 7. 7 ones are 7, 0. Remainder is 5. What is 5 here? It is Friday. So our Independence Day is on Friday. 15th August 1947 is Friday. This is how we have to calculate the day of the week for this 400 years. Suppose one more thing is there. You see, I will give you one more example. 17th February 2012. You have to calculate the day of the week for this. Why I have written it, I will tell you now. 2012 is a leap year. If you divide this by 4, if it is completely divisible and the remainder is 0, we call this as a leap year. So this is a leap year. If you calculate it when leap year is there, when January, February you are calculating, then what you have to do is you have to minus 1 from this total. That is the information you have to remember. If the year is leap year, you are calculating it for January or February, then only you have to minus 1 from the total. Otherwise, there is no necessity. So calculate this. 2012, you can do like this. 2000 plus 12. 2000 century code number is 6. Year, it is 12. Number of leap years divided by 4, that is 3. February code number 3. Date 17. Total it is 41. So because it is a leap year, you are calculating it for February, minus 1 you do it, that is 40. Divided by 7. You see, remainder is 5, that is Friday. This is how you have to calculate it. Now I will explain you how these code numbers have come. This is very important, how you have to calculate the code number. Okay. You see, for 1900, I have given the code number 0. How it has come? So here 1900, we call this as century, that is 19. So how to I have calculated the code number for this. You find out which is the next number completely divisible by 4, that is 20. 20 minus, you put this number 19. Then the formula is minus 1 into 2, you do it. This is the formula. So 20 minus 19 is equal to 1. 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. 0 into 2 is equal to 0. That is a 0. I have given the code number here. Next, 2000. For 2000, you see 20, 2000, you have to take 20 here, 20 as the century. So next divisible after 20 is 24. You see 24. So like this, 24 minus this 20, as usual, minus 1 into 2. That is 24 minus 20 is equal to 4. 4 minus 1 is equal to 3. 3 into 2 is equal to 6. This is the code number. 6 I have given. Now I will show you how 2100. 2100 means 21 is there. Next divisible number by 4 is 24. 24 minus 21 minus 1 into 2. 24 minus 21 is equal to 3. 3 minus 1 is equal to 2. 2 into 2 is equal to 4. That is the code number 4. And 2200, that is 24 next number. 22 next divisible number is 24. 24 minus 22 minus 1 into 2. That is 24 minus 22 is equal to 2. 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. 1 into 2 is equal to 2. That is the code number for 2200. I have given it. Now you have understood how I have given the code. Now I will come to month's code number, how I have given. You see, next January I have given code number 0. Code number is 0. Put it as 0 first. How I have come to February? So put this 0 first, then plus January there are 31 days. Divide this by 7. So remainder is 3. So February month, this January month code number plus 3, put it here. 0 plus 3 is equal to 3. This is the code number for February month. And for March, you see March, you take the previous code number for February 3 plus this February month number of days will be 28. Divide it by 28. You see 0. 3 plus 0 remainder is equal to 3. March will be code number 3. Then you come to April. April will be March code number is 3. 3 plus March number of days will be 31 divided by 7. Code number remainder is 3. 3 plus 3 is equal to 6. You find April code number 6. May. Put this one 6 plus April number of days is 30 divided by 7. So this is 2. So 6 plus 2 is equal to 8. So it is more than 7. You subtract 7 from this 8, you will get 8 minus 7, this is 1. So May is equal to 1. If you get more than 7, you subtract it from this number. So whatever number you get it, put it here. May is 1. In this procedure, you can calculate all the months. You can see here, I have given January 0 and October 0. I have repeated the same code numbers. Here, February 3, March 3 and November 3 repeated. Why I have repeated the code numbers? This is very important because you take the calendar. It must not be a leap year calendar. This year it is not a leap year. You take this year calendar and see. Whenever January 1st comes, suppose it comes on Monday, every October 1st starts on the same day. Same day, every year it starts on the same day. February 1, whatever day it starts, March also the same day it starts and November also the same day it starts. So that is why I have given the same code numbers. And one more thing is, suppose I have given the 400 years calendar only here. Suppose you have to calculate 15th August 2836 years on what day Independence Day comes. So 2800 I have not given the code numbers. How to calculate this one? So one thing you have to understand, because I have not given the code numbers, even then you have to calculate it. The important phenomena of this calendar is, you have to understand, every 400 years once the calendar repeats. There is no necessity of finding any more calendars or calculating any more calendars. Simply for 2300 you put it here. 2300 is same code number, 2400 same. So every 400 years once the calendar repeats. So how to calculate for 2836? You subtract 400 years. 2436 comes. Is it available 2400? No. Still you subtract 400 from this. You see 2036. Yes, 2000 you are having the code number. Like this you can calculate it. Every 400 years once the calendar repeats. So there is no necessity of writing the calendar in future. This is how we have to calculate this. This is one way of solving this calendar. I am going to give you some more tough examples of calendars in future classes. So this is from freshersworld.com. I am giving this program. Happy morning. I am Shiv Kumar from Tumkur, which is 80 kilometers from Bangalore. I am a retired employee. I am called as a walking calendar. I have prepared a calendar from 0 to infinity in a single page. Welcome to our channel. Today we are discussing about the infinity calendar. You see, this is the infinity calendar in a single sheet. Here you can see centuries. I have given it here 0102 like that up to 99. I have given here code numbers for all the centuries. Here you can see the star marks. This is the code number for centuries. And years here is there. For every year I have given the code number putting the star mark. Star mark means that is the code number for that year. And month's code number I have given it here. And here 1 to 49 I have given it in the table, and in front of that number of days are there. Monday to Saturday, and here it is number of days are there. You can see it from that table. This is the table. And how to find out this? So here I have written it century, year, month, date, because you can see here century is here, year is here, month is here, and date. So how to find out? Because you can find out the Independence Day on what day it comes. 15th August 1947. You want to find it on which day your Independence Day comes. How to find this from this calendar? So here 1947 means for the first two digits we treat it as century. Second digit, 2 digits, we treat it as year. So century is 19. Here what is the code number for this? Century, you see 19. Here 19 code number is 0. Put it is here 0. And year is 47. You find out what is the number for the code number for this year. 47, it is 2. You put this 2 here. Month code number, August month, you have to see what is the code number for August. It is 2. Put it here. And what is the date? We are not giving any code number for date. You put directly date here. So total it is 19. From this table, you can see where 19 is. You see 19 is here. Go straight towards the day. Here you can find Friday. So this is our Independence Day. Very simple thing to see from this calendar. And one thing you have to remember, if it is a leap year, you are finding it for the leap year, and the January and February months are there, then you have to subtract 1 from the total. That you have to keep it in mind. That is how you have to see from this calendar. Suppose you want to see the Independence Day for 35 lakhs 22,834 example. How to see from this calendar? Then only take the last 4 digits only. 2834. Take 28 as century, 34 as year. So do like this only. You will get the day of the week. This is a calendar in a single page. This is a world record calendar. This is made by me. If you have any doubts, my phone number is there in that calendar. You can contact me at any time. Thank you.